Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America with bombshell news. Everything has changed in the presidential election in the blink of an eye. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, very simple. Please follow that address in the lower right hand corner. It's youtube.com/@explainamerica. When you go there, please hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. Look, part of the video I'm going to show you today, you're being lied to, or not lied to, but misled. So, Kristen Welker of Meet the Press brought out a new poll, and she admitted it was damning for Kamala Harris, but she didn't admit how damning it was. So what she says is that the new poll shows that they're deadlocked. It's a dead heat. But that's for the popular vote. Now, guys, Republicans traditionally are behind in this poll. And every election I can remember, except for Reagan, always behind in this poll. And then it goes up to the Electoral College. If Republicans are tied in this poll, if Donald Trump is tied in this poll, you're looking at an Electoral College landslide. Now, if you've been following me for weeks, I've been telling you the internal polling that people in the business see is different than the polling you're seeing, and Harris has every reason to be concerned. I don't want you to get too excited because we've seen polls be incorrect before. We've seen in 2016, the polls really failed. In 2020, they underperformed, but they were back to kind of normal. And I do have some confidence in these polls, and I want to have some confidence in these polls, right? But it's important you vote. It's important you get your family to vote, your friends, your neighbors. You get them to vote. Now, you can't determine how they're going to vote. You can't tell them how to vote. You can't decide for somebody else how they're going to vote. But if you know they're on our team, make sure they get to the polls. Make sure they vote. It's so important. You know, J.D. Vance said the other day, you can't vote twice, but the legal way of voting twice is to vote yourself and then make sure somebody else votes, preferably somebody who agrees with you. Maybe they couldn't get to the polls any other way. Maybe you're the only way to get them there. Make sure they vote. If you know somebody, they're an invalid, they can't get out of the house to go vote, make sure they have their absentee ballot and they mail it in time. Don't look at how they fill it out. You can't do that. That's not legal in most states. But just make sure they vote, especially if you have an idea of how they're leaning politically. I'm not going to ask you or encourage you to go out and get Kamala Harris's votes, but certainly to get Trump's votes. Their side is doing that with Harris. They're not going out trying to get Trump votes. So when we say we want everybody to vote, we do, but we really want our side to vote, right? So this poll is tremendous. I cannot underscore enough how incredibly fantastic this poll is for Donald Trump. Again, we have less than a month of the election right now. Yes, less than a month of the election, but it's still time to vote. You know, we don't have election day anymore. We have election season. So I don't care if it shows we have a 50-point lead. It's not going to show that. But if it did, you still got to go vote because look how far Hillary Clinton was ahead. And a lot of her supporters said, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. She's got it. And I think that hurt her because her voters said that doesn't matter and they didn't go vote. Well, make sure you go vote no matter what the polls say. That's the only poll that will ultimately matter. I want you to watch this and watch basically the panic-stricken look on these two anchors' faces when they have to announce that Harris's lead has evaporated.
Kristen Welker is the moderator of Meet the Press. Kristen, good morning. Great to see you as always. I understand you all are going to roll out a new NBC News poll this morning. What jumped out at you as you sifted through it?
Well, Willie, the big headline, this is a national head-to-head poll, is that Vice President Kamala Harris had a 5-point lead in our last poll taken a month ago, right after the debate. That lead has all but evaporated, Willie. Take a look at this new head-to-head matchup, 48% to 48%. That is what we call a deadlocked race. It underscores what we all know, that this is tight, that the country is sharply divided. One of the other big headlines here, people are viewing the Trump presidency more favorably than the Biden presidency. Why is that significant? We've seen the vice president get pressed repeatedly on what she would do differently than President Biden, and she's really struggled with that answer. We have new reporting that will roll out on the show this morning, Willie, taking us inside the Harris campaign, where there are discussions about changing her answer on that. Can she draw a distinction on the Middle East, for example, on immigration, all under discussion with this razor-tight race? Willie?
And she continues to say, I am not Joe Biden, but you're right. She'll have to get more specific here down the stretch if she wants to win. Kristen, thank you so much. We'll look for more this morning on Meet the Press when Kristen is joined by Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who is supporting Vice President Harris in this election.